All right, welcome to episode 5 of CultTV. I have the honor and privilege of chatting with creator James Bland and producer CJ Faison. They are the creative team behind Giants, the web series. Giants, the web series, is a scripted web series about Black millennial life. They approach it in a very raw and authentic way. Part of the popularity of the web series is that you guys tackle so many hard-hitting issues like sexuality, identity, drug abuse, and mental health. And as you spoke on, you've mentioned this often, is that a lot of the series is drawn from your personal experiences and the experiences of your friends. How did you become comfortable being that vulnerable?
You know, it's really cool. I got that question tonight, I think twice. I had that question last night as well. I think it just came from age, because I can't say that I was this comfortable when I was younger, but you know, as you get a little older, you just kind of lose your inhibitions and you start to realize that your greatness is really connected to your truth. And like that's the thing that is really going to set you apart. I remember a few years ago I was meeting with this manager and he was asking me what my voice was, and I couldn't like put it into words. I was like, I don't know what my voice was, but I realized that the things that made me different ultimately was my voice. And so if I was going to have a voice in this industry, I was going to have to be honest about those things. And so it kind of freed me to really talk about things that I might have feared would have been judgmental.
Right.
And it was just like, fuck it, you know, I'm gonna just do me.
I feel it. And how would you describe your voice now that you have that insight?
Ooh, I still don't have the words. I still don't have the words.
Well, it speaks in your work, so we'll let them tune in. Season 2, I missed this in introducing this. Season 2 starts February 21st. You can catch that on Issa Rae's YouTube channel. And if you haven't, please binge watch season 1. So, a common challenge in creating something, and this is for the both of you guys, but a common challenge in creating something is the fear that it's going to fail and not be worth that effort. So how did you, especially you as the producer, how did you guys work through that?
You know what? You can't even think about it. You have to be so committed to your truth. You know, someone said to me, I thought it was a really good saying, is that I don't count people, I make the people count. And that's just so important for us. I know that season 1, that was, you know, something that James struggled with initially, right? That was a fear of his, that he was worried, like, am I going to put the shot out and people not care? But he stuck to his truth. He saw it through. And look at the reception, man, because it was his truth. And when something is grounded in truth, it's so powerful. So, you know, so for me, you know, I had a little bit of an easier approach because season 1 did so well. So coming on producing season 2, I guess the approach is I want to surpass that, right? I want us to surpass what we did in season 2. So, you know, I try not to get caught up in it. I try to just know that it's going to do what it's going to do as long as that we've done the work and it's grounded in truth.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, did you want to speak to that, or you?
That's good.
Right. He's thorough with it.
Mic drop.
Go ahead.
I said mic drop.
So along those lines of people saying meaningful and succinct things, I was doing some digging on you guys, and what? I mean, I was doing my homework, my research, you know. And I saw a viewer comment that said Black creators rising, and that was all the comment said. And I thought that was powerful. I thought it was accurate, since you guys are now in season 2. You are rising, and you're also part of this era of Black creators just being out there and being in the forefront.
The Renaissance.
Right. So what have you guys learned in this process of rising from season 1 to season 2?
That really the power belongs to the people. We have the ability to decide what we want to see. And if we can really learn to pool our resources and link arms with other creators of color and just decide that we're going to come together and create something that's bigger than us. We can decide that we're going to serve someone else's vision first, and know that we have something to contribute. And so even though it may start as someone else's vision, that the vision can grow and that it can double, and that if we can all that we're stronger in numbers at the end of the day. And I'm a firm believer that a rising tide lifts all ships. And so if we're in close proximity when the tide rises, like all the ships are rising.
Right.
And so just getting out of that idea that we're in competition with each other, because your voice, my voice, it's a collective effort, and we all have a contribution to make to the culture. But that's what makes this whole Black History Month. That's what makes this whole Black brilliance, Black girl magic, Black boy joy thing so dope. It's about all of us. Hey. Okay.
All right.
We back.
Hey.
So we are back. We had a brief intermission due to technical difficulties. We were just talking about differences between season 1 and season 2, and going into the interior of the characters in the cast of Giants, and going into the interior of their lives and seeing where they came from. What else do you want to add to that?
We were saying every character, someone has a love interest in season. We have an episode called Down to Fuck. And so, we're fucking this season, which is cool because Malachi was the only one fucking. Can I say that?
Yes, you can say that on the show.
Season 1, but Ade and Journey are having the opportunity to kind of experience those things too, and we're just seeing them really live full lives. We're seeing them at work. We're also seeing them at play. We're seeing them with their friends, with their family. I think we're really just seeing a well-rounded person and what they go through from a kind of a day-to-day type of situation. Yep.
Okay. And you touched on Malachi's sexuality. A question that I got from one of my viewers was, they wanted to know why you portrayed him so sexually fluid. They made a point to say that it was fine, but they wanted to know why you left it open-ended and left readers.
For sure.
I'm sorry, readers. I work in the writing world.
Yeah,
viewers wondering why you left it so open-ended.
Okay, I got a question for you. When have you seen a sexually fluid Black man on film? On a television show?
I can't recall. Maybe Prince. But that's like speculation. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess for me, that was kind of the thing was, I just wanted to give a Black character the opportunity to be something that we don't get permission to be in real life. Everything has to be so black and white. It has to be so cut and dry. And we know, in particular for Black men, a lot of our identity is really hinged on our sexuality. And people want to know, are you gay or are you straight?
Right.
And also, Black men don't even have the permission to be bisexual. And so I think that was the major reason why I just was like, I'm not even gonna tell y'all, and I'm not even gonna tell y'all what this man is, and I'm gonna allow you guys to feel that frustration in yourself, in hopes that it will spark some conversations about just sexuality and Black masculinity, because we don't talk about that a lot, but I think it's important.
It is very important.
That's essential.
Yeah.
Told you this guy's a genius. You see how intentional that was?
Yes.
Nothing's by chance.
Yeah.
And as viewers, I think people are seeing the intentionality behind everything, and that's why so many people are saying, that it's authentic and that it's raw, because you are being honest about these realities that are not portrayed in on screen. So they actually thank you for taking that leap and taking that risk.
I will say this. In season 2, we make it.
Hold that.
Yeah, hold that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so touching a little bit more on characters, Journey has been described as a fan favorite. Did you all expect that? Did you expect her to resonate as strongly as she does? And then can you give us a tiny, tiny little peek into what we can expect from her in the new season?
So I'll answer question 1. CJ will answer question 2.
Okay.
I didn't have that expectation. I knew that audiences would like Vanessa's performance because I knew she was a great performer and she would do Journey justice, but I had no idea how strongly audiences would connect to, in particular, her storyline, or how many folks would say, yo, that's me, I'm Journey.
Yes.
And so that was really cool to see.
Yes.
In season 2, man, we see Journey start to take the steps necessary towards healing and towards taming her giant, right? James has this beautiful saying that he's put forth for season 2 as the mantra, as one of the mantras, and it's that some giants we slay and others we tame. And by saying tame, we learn to live with them. And so what we'll see in season 2 is Journey start taking the steps necessary to really tame her giant and to slay some of the other giants on a smaller scale.
There's so many gems, like even being at the screening event earlier and just talking to you now, there's so many gems in how you guys speak about this show, and there's so many gems like built in within the series. Like it's definitely going to be awesome. Before we get out of here and get you guys on the road, I wanted to get your hot takes on something. So hot takes is just know your opinion on a popular issue, super fast. Don't think too much about it.
All right, cool.
So Black stories and Black narratives are super popular in Hollywood right now. Are there any other narratives that you guys feel should be highlighted? And are there any narratives that you guys feel should be retired?
I like that.
Okay, I can't think. Okay, you said don't think too much. Hot fire. Homelessness. Yeah. I haven't really seen a show about homeless people.
Okay.
Hold that down.
Okay.
Got something in development on that.
Boom.
That's actually good. And you know what I would love to see retired, you know, what's hot right now in Hollywood is that there is a changing of the guard in some regards, because right now studios, from a traditional standpoint, that landscape is changing on them, and what they're having to do is, you know, somebody said this last night, but I totally agree, is that the way they build these networks up early on was off of the back of Black content creators, right? And so now that medium is changing, right? Now that these major networks are no longer the gatekeepers or the controllers, they're having to seek Black content again to build these networks up. But now there's a new guard, there's a new mindset, there's a liberated generation, and what we're doing is we're taking that power in our own hands to say, like Jay said, you know, music and film often mirror each other a lot. So Jay said, y'all niggas still signing deals after what they did to All Hill?
Right.
You know? So it's the same mindset that we have. Like, no, we're not going to allow someone else to marginalize our power, our creative content, our creative ability by selling off too early and ultimately selling ourselves short. So that's the narrative I want to see retired, and it's a new one.
Okay.
Boom. Mic drop.
All right, so you guys are in the DMV for a few more days. Where can they see your other screenings? Where are you guys going to be for the rest of the week?
Yeah, so on Thursday we'll be at East Street Cinema. That's the landmark East Street Cinema. I think that's downtown?
That's downtown.
In DC.
Yep.
And then on Friday we'll be at Hampton University.
Cool.
But what you can do in the meantime, between time, just in case that information was too quick for you, you can follow us at Giants the Series on Instagram, or you can follow Mr. Man right here, J.R. Bland. Is that right?
Yep, J.R. Bland. You can follow this guy at Face487. That's Face_487.
That's right, bro.
Okay.
I know it, man.
Look at y'all.
Better than me. I'm changing my name so much.
All right, and one last thing for everybody else to do while we're handing out to-dos. Please binge watch season 1 if you hadn't seen it. You can catch it on YouTube, Issa Rae's YouTube channel. Make sure that you are tuning in on February 21st to see season 2 and learn more about them and support them at giantstheseries.com. That is episode 5 of CultTV. Bye, y'all.
See you.
Bye, y'all.
Ow. Ow, ow.